guys, and welcome back to the Dads in Business podcast. And on today's episode, we have Michael Biggs, local guy from North Vernon. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Michael Biggs. I'm born and raised in North Vernon. I'll be 33 this year.
I just turned 33. I know what that's all like.
Yeah, we're getting old, man.
I know it.
I have 3 kids:
Yeah.
Tinsley, Waylon, and Bristol. Beautiful wife. Been together almost 13 years. Probably married. I'm gonna get this wrong. 5 or 6 years, one of them. But yeah, just living life, really.
That's awesome, man. Your kids play any sports?
Yeah, my oldest one plays travel ball.
Okay.
She plays basketball. Waylon, he likes wrestling a lot. He tried basketball this year. He didn't like the soccer. He didn't like the baseball. But he's trying. The youngest one, she's really into basketball and softball. So
Wrestling was your sport in high school.
yeah,
right?
wrestling was my sport.
That's what I thought so.
And football, but I don't know if he's gonna play.
Yeah.
Trying to get him to.
My boys are afraid to play football. They're afraid they'll get hurt because then they can't play baseball in the spring. I'm like, dude.
I know a lot of kids like that. I know a lot of kids like that. They don't want to play. They don't want to play football because they're like, oh, we'll get hurt for basketball. We'll get hurt for baseball. And their parents, some of the parents are even like, no, you can't play.
Yeah. I tell my boys, I'm like, look, you may get hurt, but you still need to go play.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go do this. Don't be afraid of getting hurt and keeping yourself out of something. You may love that more than what you're doing. You got to try it. So
absolutely. That's
we'll
why we put ours in basketball.
Yeah. Trayton played basketball this year for the elementary school. He played, well, they used to play the last couple of years too, but this year was for the actual 6th grade team. So
oh, that's nice.
He enjoyed it. So what do you do for work?
I work at the United States Postal Service.
Yep.
That's always a fun.
Mailman.
Mailman, yep.
Yeah.
Delivering bills and checks.
Yeah.
Junk mail.
You like it?
It has its moments.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like the weather so much.
Right. Yeah, because you walk, right?
Yeah, that's probably the toughest part.
You get a lot of steps in the day.
Oh, yeah. Beyond, probably about 13,000 just alone. Just delivering, and walking.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's, when you're driving through town, you see people doing it. You're like, man, I don't know that I could do that because when it's snowy, you still have to go walk and deliver mail.
Yeah, when we had the ice storm, dude, I was out in it. What day was it? It was Saturday because my day off is on Friday when it started, so I didn't have to go in that day, so it was great. I was warm in my bed, so I was like, man, I ain't going out there.
Right.
And then Saturday, I was like, crap, I got to get up, and I had to go out and walking, and that's pretty cold.
Yeah. So what is what's a normal day for a mailman look like?
So we usually we get to what we call the office. When you clock in and stuff, we get there about 8 o'clock. So we have to sort we sort the magazines. We have to go through what we call spurs, which is the smaller package, like the little envelopes and stuff.
Yeah.
We have to go through those, put those in order, and then after that, we pull it all down in order, so we put them in bundles so we can take them out to the street, like by street and by area and all that stuff. And then that usually takes about an hour and a half, and then we load our trucks and then take off for the day and do parking loops or mounted delivery or businesses. I have a lot of those. So
okay, so you still do get a mail truck and you just like park it in the neighborhood and then walk the neighborhood.
Yeah, you park at one address and you'll start walking down that street and then you'll go loop it, turn back around and go back to the last address. So like if you have a address that's like 317 or something on one side, on the right side, and then on the left side will be the even.
Right.
And then, so you'll stop. If it's 317 here, then 316 will be your last stop.
I got you. That's cool.
Yeah.
I never knew how it worked. Yeah, every time I've seen you, you've always been walking. I've never seen you in the mail truck, so I was just,
Yeah, I don't have much mounted delivery. I do a little bit. I have probably, maybe 6, 7 houses that are actually stay in the truck just to drop off.
Yeah.
But I get to do like the hospital, Autumn Trace, and I'm trying to think. What's the other one called? Majestic Care, or I don't think it's called Majestic anymore. Maybe, I don't know. But that little Dr. Terry's office, Expert Eye Care, the hospitals, that's all just jump outs.
I got you. That's pretty cool. So your daughter plays travel baseball. Who does she play for?
So we played for the Indiana Astros. We played for Demand Command last year, and then we switched over to the Indiana Astros out of Whiteland.
Okay. Where do they practice at?
Whiteland.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so, which, for me, I live right on Highway 50, so Seymour's only like 7 minutes, so the interstate's like right there.
That's not bad then.
No, it ain't too bad.
Yeah.
It's like 15 more minutes from MVP, literally, from where I live.
Really? That's not terrible.
No, it ain't too bad.
No, not at all. Because you can run mostly interstate.
Yeah. And it's right off the interstate too, where their practice facility is.
That's
Pretty,
cool.
like it used to be a basketball court. Their practice facility it used to be like a basketball, I guess, Miracle Basketball or something like that. So they took over that gym.
That's cool.
So now it's just a whole gym.
I know. I tried to put in a facility in Jennings County. Man, when it come down to the numbers, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure that's expensive. But it needs to happen.
It does, and I hope that someone does. And I know there's some talks of some other people that are trying to do it, and I hope they follow through with it.
Dude, anybody that does it, man, they're gonna be set.
You'd have to do it full time, and there just wasn't no way that I could do it. I really wanted to, and I had talked to BJ from the high school and a couple other people, and they were all on board, and they was willing to help with whatever we needed. But man, there just was. I mean, it was out. When you put the numbers on a spreadsheet and you looked at them, you're like, "Holy shit! How am I going to get this done?"
Yeah, dude, I couldn't imagine what they'd be.
It was insane.
Because just the baseball equipment alone, like I'm not even talking about like kids equipment, but the iron mics, those aren't cheap.
No.
The pitching machines, that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, hitting that's probably would be the least of your concerns, but it'd be more like the iron mics and workout equipment.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So the iron mic that's in Corey Rawls's building is mine. I paid like $1,500 for it, used from a high school down south, and but to buy those things new, man's $4,500, a cheap one.
Yeah. And plus the maintenance on them, if something breaks down, you got to pay a maintenance guy. I can imagine what that would cost.
Yeah. Thankfully, with that one, I think the only problem we've had out of it so far is the foot, which is what grabs the ball as it comes around and throws it out. That wears out on one side, and you have to replace it. But we only had to replace it once or twice.
And you've been MVP in that one they got out there. That thing breaks all the time.
Yeah, I dislike their iron mic a lot. And the other thing that I hated is, I don't know if you guys ever used it, but we used the projector that they had.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the projector.
Man, that thing was awful.
Yeah, you have to adjust it all the time by itself. You have to. Yeah, that thing.
And I thought, okay, cool. I can just take that little white thing they use for the projector down, and just be able to watch the arm, which is what I want. I don't care for the projector. I know it's cool that you can see a guy, but I prefer the arm because the kid learns to load as he sees the arm pick up, which is
timing.
Right. And so, but at MVP, you can't remove them.
Nope.
So, no big deal. And Zach even came in and showed me how to set it up and if the timing's off with the ball. But, man, you only get an hour in there, hour and a half, I think.
Yeah.
And I'd spend 20, 25 minutes getting it all set up.
Exactly. And then by the time you run through each kid, you're already, an hour and 20 in practice. You got 10 minutes to do whatever else.
Right. And so I just never done it. We either live pitched or we just turned it on and there was nothing. Which was kind of nice, too, because the kids had to stay loaded and ready. And you had to be right now into it and be ready to go off of one. So I don't know that it helped, but in my head it sounded good.
It always sounds better in your head than it does.
Probably. And the MVP facility is kind of small. If you had two teams in there that were trying to run the exact same program and you could split it up and run programs together, then it'd probably be fine. But if you have two teams sharing a space and doing two different things, it's a nightmare.
Well, and Zach actually added on to it.
Yeah.
That one part of it.
Yeah.
Because now he's got the college team is in there.
Mm-hmm.
IUPUC.
Yep.
He's got all them guys in there practicing and trying to use it too.
Yeah.
And plus he did private lessons for a long. I don't think he does them anymore.
I don't think he does very many private lessons anymore. He's got a lot going on.
That's where our guy goes too. Right now we're doing workouts at MVP with him.
Oh, really?
For lessons, hitting and pitching. So that's where we have to go.
Hey.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. Have you ever used Eddie out here?
No.
He's always busy.
Yeah, he is busy.
I don't know.
No, I use a local guy out of North Vernon.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Cool.
He pretty much does all the softball girls out around North Vernon.
That's awesome. Nothing wrong with that at all.
No, it's the Mahonies.
Yeah.
You know any of them?
I don't. There's a chance that I do. I'm terrible with names.
His daughter, two of them actually. The one played for IU Southeast for the last 3 years, and the other one she plays. She's now playing for IUPUC.
Okay. I'm glad that Zach put a sports program, or helped put a sports program there.
Even closer to home, that's great.
Yeah.
Gives more kids opportunity around here, and
That's
a lot
right.
of Jennings County kids did go there.
Yep.
Even ones that have been sitting out for like the last year, 2 years even.
Yep. I had my cousin who played for Edinburgh, Travis Jones. He signed with them to play baseball with him, which he primarily played basketball through high school. Played some baseball towards the end, but he recently had another scholarship come in to go play basketball with a really good financial package with it. Didn't completely pay for it, but still, I mean, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, anything helps like
and
that.
so he went up there. I think he just moved into his dorm room last week. So
Where'd he go?
somewhere in Michigan. So
Heck yeah, man.
it's pretty
Road
cool.
trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get away from home, not living with mom and dad.
Yeah, I remember when I went to college, it was just Indy, but
I went to New Albany, so yeah. I
when
know it a
it's
little bit.
just you and you don't have your parents' oversight,
It's different.
it is different. You
'Cause
do
you
some
rely on
things.
yourself.
You do some things
Changes a man.
that you I look back on it now. I'm like, man, why'd we do that? Why'd I let my buddies talk me into that stupid stuff? Whatever.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So do you coach softball at all?
No, I did. I coached. So I coached at the park with my son's team baseball for
Okay.
2 years, and then right when we were going to C League, he was keep score. I was excited. Finally, we got to keep score. It's real. Okay, cool. We're gonna keep score finally. You can tell wins or losses how my kids are improving.
Right.
Because my T-ball team, I kept a lot of the same kids. I just kept drafting the same kids because even some of the ones that weren't the best, I still wanted them on my team
Right.
because I knew them and I liked them. They were good kids, and I wanted to see their progress.
Yeah.
Because for me, and this might sound bad, but no offense to anybody that plays park ball, it's just you want to see the growth of those kids,
Right.
and some of them aren't as good as others.
Right.
And even and some of them teams are out there killing teams, 21-2
Yeah.
or 21-3, and that's just
I have zero interest in ever coaching again at the park.
me neither.
I did it for 2 years at the James County Park. I did it for once in Columbus when we lived up there, because we lived up there for 6 or 7 years after high school and college. But man, parents are awful, and parents at the local level at the park are even worse.
Yeah, they are. It's bad there.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's whatever they want. I just know that it's not for me.
No, me neither. I really did enjoy it. I mean, the kids.
I enjoyed the kids' part, and I enjoy developing young athletes.
Me too. And so a couple of the kids that I coached, they're on travel teams now. So that's cool to see how they're growing.
Yeah.
And one of them is really good.
Yeah.
Plays for the one Gabe Loman started, the Bulls.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I was telling his dad, well, Levi Ross.
Yep.
I was telling his dad, and I said, man, this was the second year T-ball. I was like, dude, you got to get him in some travel ball.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not ready. I said, dude, he's ready. He's like, no, man. I was like, no, you should try out for DC. And I remember I messaged him after he tried out. I said, did he make it? We don't know yet. And then he ended up making the DC team.
Yeah.
Now he's playing for the Bulls. So I was like, I told you, man. It's good. And
Yeah.
yet now his younger brother that I coached for 1 year also plays out in Silver Creek, the Dragons.
Yep.
And they're a pretty good organization.
They are a good organization.
So I was like, man.
Yep. Waylon had the opportunity to go try out he got invited to go try out for Matt Miller and Keegan, and I'm going to mess his last name up, McGammett out of Greensburg. They had the Curve program for a long time, which is who Waylon started with. Waylon initially went and played for Matt on the Curve in Greensburg, and because I wasn't sure if he was ready, to be honest with you. And so I wanted to try him out and just kind of see how he fit with other kids of his age and see where his skill level was. And he did phenomenal, and he did good for them, and they loved him and wanted him to come back. And we just happened to have the local program in North Vernon that was still DC, but that Adam had, and so we just went to play for him because it was local.
Yeah,
it was a lot less travel for me. But this past year, after that wound up or got over with this past season, we got the opportunity to go. Sorry, we were asked to go try out for the new Bulls team that Matt Miller and them put together.
That's awesome.
And my dad tells me I'm crazy for not doing it, but I decided not to, and I just let him stay where he's at. He's 9 years old.
Yeah, and chemistry's big too, especially with the kids.
Yeah.
And if he's got good chemistry going with his teammates, just to leave to go to another team, sometimes I'm like, man, that's not the right thing to do.
Right.
Or if you're having fun, if you like the organization, the way the coach is going, why leave?
Right. I don't have any problems. I think Adam's a good coach. Me and him and two other individuals are coaching that team. I'm more of I know the rules because I've played up into the other stuff and he hasn't. So that's the extent of it for me, basically. I just help run stuff. If they need something, they tell me what to do. I love being the assistant versus the head coach. I don't
Yeah.
have to make the hard decisions.
Nope, you don't. You know, I deal with the parents.
Right. He likes to deal with the parents. I told him, I said, if you don't want to, I will. It doesn't bug me.
No.
Parents don't necessarily love me when it comes to that because I don't beat around the bush. You're not going to like what I have to say, and that's okay. It is what it is.
Well, like you said on your other show, as long as you're an open book with the parents, you know,
right.
As long as you're up front with them and tell them, that's what I want to hear as a parent.
Yeah, and for me, that's the way it is. I as a coach, if you come to me and ask me, you know, why is my kid not doing this or whatever, I'm gonna tell you.
Yep.
You may not like my answer, and I may be wrong.
Yeah.
But from what I'm staring at and what I see, this is why.
Right. Or you know, for me, it's kind of like a lot of times, especially with some of the travel teams. This is probably my number one pet peeve is when kids don't show up to travel ball practice.
I hate it.
I mean, I understand like it's different when they have another sport going. I get that. I'm okay with that. But like if they're just missing because mom and dad didn't want to take me or this and that, I'm like, no, this is next step up. You can't do that.
Right.
Because you can't. It's hard to practice when you got.
That's park ball.
Yeah, it's hard to practice when you got 5 kids.
You want to miss? Go play park ball.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is missing.
And as a coach, that was the thing I hated the most, man. My other coaches would call me we'd have conversations when we're on the way in. He'd be like, who all's coming today? I'm like, well, I hope everybody.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you know, that's not happening.
Right.
And people don't understand that. And we talked about this a little bit too, that just the chemistry, all of that plays in, man. If you got a kid that's not coming to practice and you've got other kids that are at practice every week, every time you offer something, even if the other kid's better, sometimes you have to sit that kid and play these other boys because they're putting the work in.
Exactly. That's what I was getting to is, you know, it's like you said, kids showing up to practice, even though this kid might be better, this kid showed up every day or every time. This guy showed up once.
Yeah.
You can't play that kid. And then the parent, well, why is my kid not playing? He's better than him. Yeah, he might be, but he didn't show up.
Right.
This guy's had been working his tail off. Your kid was missing. You didn't bring him to practice.
Yeah.
Because it was too late or something or something like that.
Right.
And that happens a lot. Practice was too late. But this is travel ball. Right. You pay money.
We pay money to play. And the thing that I like about travel ball, and I really like the team trading zone, and this is the reason why, and this is all going to tie together here, but when it's park ball, everybody has to play.
Right.
Everybody has to play a certain amount of innings.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah.
And the pitcher can only pitch so many innings, too.
Right.
So you can't keep the same kid in.
Right. And so when it comes to travel ball, that's not that way. You earn your spot. I love that.
Yes.
I think that the growth that Trayton will experience this year because he's with a team that he's not the best on,
right, exactly,
is going to be way better for him.
Yeah, that's key. Like you said last show, is your son, you got cut and you brought out the dog in him. Yeah. See, that's kind of how we got our start. You know, we my daughter, she played her second year of C League, so we're like, man, like I said, no offense to park ball players, right? She outgrew the park ball, right? And we were like, man, she's better than what we think.
I don't do both either.
Yeah, we don't either.
My boys don't play. My 2 that are in travel ball do not play at the park.
Yeah, we don't either. And so we were like, okay, so it's time to get her on a travel team. Well, of course, this is, after July 4th, so mainly or close to August. So all the tryouts have pretty much already been over. Yep. So we're out here searching, looking getting in all the Facebook sites, who's trying out, who's not. Well, so we decided, there's a team in Greenwood, Indiana Magic Gold, one of the best teams in softball in the state. Yeah. I was like, I didn't know that at the time. Right. So we're like, they had an open tryout. We go out there and daughter shows up and she doesn't even have a face mask at this point for softball because softball girls wear the face mask. I gotcha. So we didn't even have one. So because we didn't know, I think that's one of the things that for me, it's like when you start travel ball, you don't know. No, you have no clue. You have no clue. So we didn't know any of this stuff. So we get out there. She does pretty well, holds her own, but them girls were hitting balls to the fence. Yeah. My daughter's only hitting to the grass. Right. So that's a big difference. So that team honestly cut her. Right. And she was kind of upset about it. And I told her, I was like, don't worry about it. But she wanted to get better, though. Right. So I told her, I was like, look, it's not a big deal. I was like, it's not. We'll work on it. It's okay. You're only 7. Right. Or it's 8 at that time, 8 or 7. 7 or 8 at that time. So then we're like, all right, well, fine. So we try to look around. There was another team that had opening. It was the C Command 8U team. They had an opening. So we went out there. I thought she did pretty well, but cut her. Yeah. Okay, no big deal. Well, the reason why she got cut, though, that was what I was told, was apparently he needed 2 players, and he got a set of twins,
I gotcha.
and they're really good. And
Yeah.
that's okay
Hey.
with that. And they cut her, so no big deal. So I told her, I said, well, we'll just go instructional. So we did. So we started pitching, started hitting.
Yeah.
And we're out at MVP one day, and it's probably by this time, it's probably November, December. So
Yeah.
the actual full season hasn't even started, just fall ball. And we're in there pitching, and one of the 10U teams has an opening. Needed a pitcher. And the guy went with, he's like, hey, would you be interested? I said, man, I don't know. I was like, she's already got cut twice. You know, she's already been working as hard. I don't know if I want to put her through another chance of maybe not.
Right.
But, you know, if you don't take the chances, though, it's like, what happens?
Every shot you don't take, you miss.
Exactly. And I'm like, so, okay. I was like, well, yeah. He goes, well, you want me to ask him? I was like, well, I'm not going to go ask the coach. I don't know the guy. I'm not going to say, hey, give me a shot.
Right.
So we're in there practicing, and then another guy that was on the team, he's like, dude, you want to try out? I can ask him. I was like, yeah, go ahead. So we did that, and well, took her that night, and instead of waiting like around like they do, this guy's like, I'll take her.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we'll take her that night. We'll send all the paperwork. I was like, really? Cool. So we made the team as an 8-year-old, a 10U team. That's the funny part, is a 10U team.
Yep.
So we played up. And, you know, my daughter was pitching and stuff, and then like after that, it's pretty much all history how she made team, really.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's crazy.
So last year, I tried to talk Waylon's coach into, hey, don't play. You guys have a really good team. Don't play 8U. Skip it. Go play 9U. You got the boys.
Yep.
Go do it.
Nothing wrong with it.
And he wouldn't do it. And so this year in the off season, we was talking and everything else, and we're a 9 AA team, and we're gonna play 10 single A.
Yeah, you guys just moved up, didn't you?
Well, yeah, we just moved it up to 9. We're now this season they're supposed to play 9U. They're going to play up and play 10U, and 10U single A. And he's like, why would we do that? Originally, he was just confused. I said, well, here's the reason. I think we're a solid 9 AA. And I think we could compete at 9 AAA if you care about the numbers. I do not. I do not care about what if it's a single A or AAA team.
It's about development.
I want development. I care about competition.
Right.
And so after some convincing, he's like, well, let's do 10 single A. Because at practices, we had talked about it. And at practices, we were teaching the boys to go ahead and start leading off and stealing.
Right.
And finally, after practice, I said, hey, man, I need to know what way we're going. He's like, well, why? I said, because if we're going to play 9 AA, they can't lead off, they can't steal.
Exactly.
They can't leave the base until the ball's crossed the plate. So we need to be working on that
I kind of don't like that rule either.
Right, I don't either. Where I'm at, we need to either play up and play 10 single A, or we just need to take stealing out of the equation right now. And I'm okay either way, but we have to pick a route. And so finally he's like, well, let's go play 10 single A. After consulting a couple other people, and so that's what we're going to do.
That's pretty good.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
For me, 10 single A is as close to real baseball for these boys as they're going to get for right now, which is totally fine, and get to have all the aspects of it.
See, in softball world, they have 9U and 11U, but there's not a whole lot of teams that are just registered at 9U.
I gotcha.
It's kind of weird because like this year I seen when we were doing tryouts, and even now, dude, there are so many teams that need players right now.
Yeah.
And like just like when we were trying out, there's hardly any. So there's hardly any 8U teams around like this area. There's like a couple of demand command teams. Like there's not a red alert, but there's a couple around here, not many.
Right.
And they're already full.
Right.
Or one's looking for a player, but it's like can't find them anymore.
Now does Joey still have his team, or who? I don't know if it was Joey and not Megan. What's her name? Autumn.
No, I think they dispersed. I think.
Did they?
Autumn Rubio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she dispersed, I think. Because my wife's cousin was on that team.
I got you.
No, they went in a different direction, but they were 12, I think.
They might have been. I just don't know.
Yeah, they were 12.
I don't see my daughter playing travel softball. So I don't ever pay attention to it.
But yeah, and then see, I was confused for a long time about the 8U, 9U stuff for a long time.
Me too.
It didn't make sense if you think about it.
Right.
Because there are 9-year-olds on an 8U team.
Right.
There are 11-year-olds on a 10U team.
Right.
Because how their birthdays fall.
Birth year, yeah.
Right.
Right.
So that's like like I said, in softball, there's 9 and 11U.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of teams in them.
Right.
I don't know why, but there's just not, because they're all one birth year, and the 10U is mixed.
Right.
So that's how they do it. And most teams just say screw it and go 10U or 12U or 14U or 16 or 18.
It seems like they jump 2 years at a time.
Yeah, they do
softball.
pretty much.
Yeah. From what I've gathered.
Yeah, that's pretty much how they do it.
Yeah.
And dude, the atmosphere of a softball game is so much different too. It's a lot more cool. Like, it's. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's quieter from like the players' perspective.
Right.
Because the girls, I mean, they don't really scream a whole lot. Like, boys, they make a play. It's like, yeah, I'm number one.
Right.
The girls, they're like, good job.
Right.
Now they scream more in the dugout. They do all them chants that the boys don't do typically.
Right.
The boys are just up there yelling and banging on the fence.
Right.
The girls, they do all the little cheers like you hear in park ball.
Right. And I hate those.
I do too.
I absolutely hate them. And we talked about this briefly before we got on here, I think. And there's times where I wish umpires would put a stop to it and even threaten or go as far as throwing teams out.
Right.
Because there was a couple tournaments that we played in where the other team we was playing was chanting, right? And it wasn't directed to the pitcher, but it was voice levels was changing as the pitcher was going through his windup.
Yeah.
And so it was to the pitcher, but because he wasn't talking to the pitcher, he was talking to the whole baseball team.
Right.
It was okay.
Yeah, and see, I was told there's not much you can do about it because there's one guy, last year in fall ball, team, he had a rubber duck.
Yeah.
Or a rubber chicken or something. He kept squeezing it.
Oh God.
Kept squeezing it, and then he kept making the Aflac noise like the duck.
Yeah.
It wouldn't stop. I was like, man. I finally just put my hand up, like, please stop.
Yeah.
The kid's like, me? I'm like, yeah, you stop, please. I mean, but there's nothing I could actually tell him to do other than please stop.
Right.
Because it's not a rule.
Right, and there's not a rule against chanting.
No.
And if your team wants to do it, that's fine. When you play higher competition, you don't have that.
No,
you have the boys cheering for their team,
yeah,
but you don't have that.
And I've noticed that, like, the older you get, like, pretty much like 14 up, it's pretty calm.
Yeah.
Even as a lot of coaches are calmer.
Yeah.
Now they still get mad. Don't get me wrong, but
right.
it's calmer, and a lot of parents, they're a little bit more calmer because they're used to it, I guess.
Right.
And now, dude, 8U or 10U and 12U.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the worst.
So my team, we didn't do chants. And my boys were always so mad. Look, you can cheer your team on. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
We're not chanting. We're not trying to get in a pitcher's head. We're not doing any of that stuff. If we have to do that to win, I don't want to play them.
Right, exactly.
It's not how this works.
No.
We was at the North Vernon Park playing in a tournament, and the other team was chanting some chant, right? And my team, it rattled my boys. Like, they were so mad. And they came into the dugout, and then that pitcher started pitching to our first boy. They started chanting. And I come off third base line and come in there, and I yelled at him. Hey, that's not how we play baseball.
No.
We're going to play our baseball game, or we're not going to play at all. We'll load it up right now.
Exactly. That's how it should be.
I said, this is not the way it is. This is not how I coach. And they were like, but Coach, they're doing it to us. I don't care. Let them play their baseball game.
This is going to be a quote from old T. Howard Jones.
Yep.
Act like you've been there.
Act like you've been there. That's
what
right.
He always says. Act like you've been there.
I'll never forget
Have class and act like you've been there.
Whenever I played for Zimmerman on football, which I was not good at football, but Coach Z was the coach whenever I played, and we was in the gym one day at PE, and Coach T said, he said, "Don't you play football?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "You have to act like you've been where you are. You have to act like you've scored that touchdown before.
Yep.
You don't celebrate that like it's your first one ever or last one. Act like you've been there. Have some class when you play sports."
But, the bad part is it's kind of funny if you ever watch the NFL or
right.
And
that's
guys,
why the boys do it.
Them guys get a guy gets a sack. He's out there taunting like he won the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then the team ends up getting beat by 17 points or whatever, or even more. Why are you taunting? You haven't won the game.
Right.
You haven't won the Super Bowl yet. You haven't won the MVP trophy. Like, act like you've been there.
Right.
Have class. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that.
Yep. And that's what it was with my boys. I don't care if we're winning or if we're losing. You're going to have class. We're going to do it that way.
You're gonna win gracefully.
Yeah.
And you're gonna lose gracefully.
Right.
Like, one thing I can't stand is my daughter. She's never really done it, but throwing equipment around.
Yeah.
You guys talked about it before. Just in even throwing the bat bag down.
Yeah.
You got $1,000 worth of equipment in there.
Yep.
It's like, why are you throwing it around? And then they go in there and they slam them helmets down or they slam the bat down or, it's like, hey, whoa.
I benched kids for that.
Yeah, pick that crap up.
Yeah.
Our coach did too last year. He benched them.
Look, there's 2 things in the dugout. 3 things, really, because I don't do the chanting. We're not going to have bad attitude in my dugout.
Nope.
With that bad attitude, you're not going to argue with other teammates. It's not going to happen. And we're going to respect our equipment. I want nothing laying on the ground. I want every bag hung up. I want all your stuff put back in your bag when you come to the dugout. And I had one kid that would come in all the time and want to throw his stuff around. No, quit it. You can sit on the bench until you're clear-headed.
And dude, what's funny? There's actually the same amount of crying in baseball as there is in softball.
Yeah.
Like a girl gets pulled, she'll cry. Sometimes a pitcher. I've seen boys do it.
Yep, I have too.
I mean, but it's just the emotions in the game, which
it's
is
the
good.
passion, right? And I told the boys, look, I want to see your passion. I'm okay with you being passionate, and if that comes out in the form of tears, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna have bad attitude.
No, exactly, and it's just kind of like crazy because a lot of people get that misconception. Oh, boys shouldn't show emotions. No, they should.
They absolutely should.
Yeah, because it brings out the character in them.
I want to know that it matters.
Yeah, exactly. And if boys out there pitching, he's pitching his heart out, and he's just not there. It's that game, and it happens. That's why a lot of kids don't understand, or there's parents. This is one of my pet peeves of umpiring, actually, is parents will be back here behind the dugout. And I used to be bad about this, too. I'm not even going to lie. I was horrible before I started umpiring. These parents will sit back here, and they're like, their son's daughter's just not doing very well.
Right.
Just not. What are you doing out there? What are you doing? Come on. Come on. It's like.
In the beginning, I was terrible about that.
Yeah, me too. And it's like, chill out, man. You know, and that kid's just having a bad day.
Yeah, what clicked for me, and this sounds so silly, but before I started coaching, I was standing outside the fence, and Trayton was pitching, and he was struggling. And I was hollering at him from outside the fence. And when he came off the field after an inning, I went over to the dugout, and I was talking to him. And he said, Dad, can you do me a favor? So he goes, can you be quiet? I said, yeah, why? He's like, it does not help me when I'm up there and you're yelling. Look, I know I need to throw strikes, and I know that I'm not doing good.
Yeah, it really messes with their egos, I think.
And so ever since then, I'm like, all right, no worries. If you're struggling, I'm just going to try to talk you up. I'm not going to try to tell you how to change or what to change. We're going to try to talk you up.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I'll change you when you get back to the dugout.
Yeah. Or what I do is I can't even, like my daughter's pitching, I can't sit down.
Yeah.
Well, even if turning the whole game, I can't sit down.
I pace. I never sit.
I have a chair sitting out there. I never sit in it.
Same here.
My wife's like, why don't you get you one of these real nice rocking chairs? I'm like, I don't sit in it.
I have a really nice rocking chair, and I can count on one hand how many times I've sat in it.
That's why I'm like, just give me I'll take the $10 one, $15 one from Walmart.
Right.
I don't need a big fancy one because I'm not going to sit in it.
The only time I sit in them is if we win the first game on a Sunday and we go to the next one, I'm sitting on it in between. That's
Even between games, I'm not. I'm usually walking around getting stuff for my kids.
Right, that's true.
Gatorades or whatever, it's like, because, even though you bring food, you bring stuff, you know, at the concession stand, your kids, hey, Dad, can I have a pickle out here? All the other kids have one. Can I have a pickle?
Right.
Sure. Yeah, here's some money. Go get a pickle.
Yeah.
Can I have some ice cream?
No.
No, it's hot outside. Do you really need to eat dairy before 15 minutes for your game? No.
Right.
Or now or whatever? No, you don't.
Right.
But no, that is my biggest pet peeve though, is them hollering at their kids back here and just screaming at them because you can see it draining from the kids.
Yeah.
The parents may not be able to see it, but dude, as an umpire or coach, you can see it.
Yeah.
Even coaches, if a kid drops a pop fly, he knows he dropped a pop fly. He or she knows that they dropped a pop fly. They know they did.
Yep.
And they know that they let their team down.
Now, I can tell you as a coach, what you're getting ready to say is very difficult.
It is. Oh, yeah, you're not parents difficult.
And you still want to, as a coach, even though that boy missed that, right? And you want to yell at him.
Yep,
The first instinct is to yell, why did you miss that? Yep. All you had to do was move 2 feet.
Yep.
And you didn't catch it, and why? So I caught myself doing that, and I did my best not to.
Yep.
And, hey, shake it off, go to the next play. Because the last thing you want as a coach is them to still be thinking about that drop ball. Because if that's the case, they're going to drop the next one.
Yeah, and they're going to think about it. It's nerves.
Yeah.
Because my kid's the same way. She dropped pop fly, and it's like she knows she dropped it.
Yeah.
Because she's over there, man, putting her hand in her glove, hitting it. No, just, dang it. I missed it.
Yeah.
Because she knows. And it's like, it's okay. And then after the game, I'm going to be like, you knew you did that, didn't you? Yeah. What can you do to fix it? I need to be over here.
Right.
Sit over here. I was too far back. Even though that kid hit that ball that far last time, I need to scoot up next time. Or I need to learn where these kids. I need to know the kids' tendency. I need to pay more attention to the batters.
Yeah. The other thing that pisses me off about parents in baseball is when their kid strikes out and they get all bent out of shape.
Oh,
So, man, listen, pros hope to bat 50%, and they don't. Pros 249 to 350 is really where they shine.
it'll get you a $300 million contract.
Yeah. And
For
most
8
people
years.
who are on the bench and don't play a ton on a pro ball, they're anywhere from 125 to 250
Yeah.
hitting average.
I mean, that guy the Cubs just signed, Swanson, he bats like 270,
Yeah.
275. He's got a big contract.
Yeah. And that's a quarter. That's 1 out of every 4 chances you get at bat that you're going to hit something.
I mean, Aaron Judge, look at him. I mean, he's home run king, right?
Yeah.
He probably only, how many bombs did he hit? 1 out of every 4? 5,
Right.
6? 7?
Absolutely.
You hit, heck, now in the majors, you hit 40 home runs, you're a king.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Back in our day, it was Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and
Oh, yeah.
Griffey hitting 60.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. We went to a Reds game and we was talking about that. And something I didn't realize is after the Reds game, we had come home. We was watching some documentary on Netflix. And I didn't realize that King Griffey Jr. and Sr. both played on the Reds at the same exact time.
Yeah, I think for like a year or so.
For 1 year.
Yeah.
Yep. They got to play 1 season together as father
That's
son,
awesome.
and that's cool.
They had them coming out of the Field of Dreams game, too.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I really want to go to one of those.
I do, too.
Tickets are outrageous.
Yes, they are.
Because last year I told my wife, I said, when they come on sale, the day they go on sale, I'm buying 2 of them. We're going.
Yep.
The day they come on sale is like $3,500. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm not about to spend $7,000 to go watch one baseball game.
No.
It's not.
Well, what's
happening.
cool about that is they built that. It's a new stadium, but they got the old film set
that
right
you
next
can
to it.
actually go over and see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But no, man, you see it from when you're umpiring. You see that stuff all the time.
So let's talk about that. So you obviously umpire as well. You enjoy it?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
It's fun. I really like the kids. I really enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Just to see how excited those kids get. And you've seen me umpire. I'm
Yep.
probably one of the last ones you'll see.
Yep.
And some of these other guys, show monotone and like, dude, I know I'm doing a good job with the kids when the kids are in the dugout when I yell strike and they're doing it.
Right.
They're all of them.
Man, I hate an umpire that doesn't yell ball or strike.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? As the coach, I need to know.
Yeah. What are you calling? Usually I won't, because really there's not a sign for ball. I mean, I usually won't.
Right.
Because if you say ball, they're like, set a strike or ball.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
So
as long as
usually-
he's calling a strike.
Yeah, you'll hear me say strike.
Right.
It's loud. Yeah, it goes through the field,
Right.
which it's fun to me.
No, look, I think as an umpire, you do a fantastic job. Right, for the most part.
Punch outs are fun.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I love it. Especially when a kid, throwing strike after strike after strike, and the kids are swinging.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I want to see a kid strike out, but it's fun, dude, when they're doing that.
Absolutely.
And their team's chanting, and they strike out like 3 kids in a row with 9 pitches, dude.
Right.
And dude, it's just a rhythm. It's
Yeah.
like, holy cow.
I tell you, I would rather watch a baseball game that's low scoring, 4 and 5,
Oh, me too.
versus 20 and
Those are my favorite
30
games
runs.
umpire. I love the ones that are, like, this might sound bad, but I love the ones that are just strikeouts. Left and
Me
right.
too.
When there's a pitching duel and them kids are throwing heat, I
Yep.
love it.
I like when it's low scoring because it means you got 2 really good teams.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I like to see kids hit bombs.
Right.
I like to see how far they can hit them.
Everybody does.
Yeah, but I love to see strikeouts,
Yeah.
man. Or people get throwing heat and striking out,
Yeah.
especially when it's both teams doing it.
Yep.
You don't know what you're getting. It's strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah. My favorite thing to watch. We went and watched some like 8-year-old major teams last year. Like while Waylon's team was there playing
Yeah.
and they were done and we was waiting, I was watching a couple other games. Man, it's phenomenal some of the talent that's out there at 8 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Turning double plays and the fluency that they have on a baseball field is incredible.
And sometimes I want to think those kids that's all they do is baseball all year round.
Right. And there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, I don't know. That,
Yeah.
But, 'cause,
I know, like the Louisville Sting, I've heard they practice 4 times a week.
Now, I've heard like the, what's that team out in Franklin? Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Because I was going to check them out a couple times, and some people were telling me what their practice schedule like.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like, they said they practice 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And they like you to pretty much be strictly that sport.
Yeah.
It's like,
So for me, 2 days a week is plenty.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when you're throwing lessons in there.
Right. And then if in the winter months, if you're a dual sport kid, I just want to know that up front.
Yep.
So I want to know not to expect you at practice.
Right, exactly. Now, like my daughter, we do when summer gets here, dude, we're softball 4 days a week.
Yeah.
If not 5.
Yeah, easy.
Well, actually, with the tournaments, you're probably 5. Honestly, 5 or 6. But
there was a time as a family we were 7 days a week last year.
Yeah, just springtime though, like early on, it's 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Then once it gets going, like June, July, it's easily probably 5, 6.
Yeah.
Easily.
So from an umpire standpoint, how do you feel the game is heading? Because as a coach, I have an opinion. And as much as I love travel baseball, I think to a small degree, if we're not careful, coaches and parents are going to ruin it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because you have to have a strong mind, obviously. You just can't go in there being weak-minded because you won't last.
Right.
Because you have to be able to confront people, and you have to be able to kind of be a jerk in a good way, and kind of put people in their place without being a jerk.
Right.
Without it coming off that way. Because once you come off that way, dude, that coach is going to hate you.
Right.
That coach is, and if you get him again, dude, it makes it worse.
Right. Well, you threw Brandon out, right? And so
twice, unfortunately, almost 3 times. But yeah, twice.
Right. So this last time that when we played out at Freeman Field, and the boys seen that you was the umpire, they're like, "Man, Brandon's gonna get thrown out again." Da, da, da. I'm like, "No, chill. Look, Brandon and Mike have both let that go.
Yeah.
As long as we play baseball and we're not doing what we were doing, it's no big deal."
Now, like I said, I barely know Brandon on a personal level.
Right.
And I'm sure he's a great guy.
Right.
I'm sure he is.
Right.
I mean, he likes sports. I like sports. He knows sports.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because my daughter played basketball, and he was actually the referee for one of her games.
Yeah.
At the St. Mary's basketball game.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny. But as a person, he's a good dude. I mean, in that game, that last game you guys played, he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I said, "Me too." I said, "Dude, I don't want to throw anybody out."
Right.
I said, "I don't like it." I said, "Man, but when you just get under somebody's skin, or when you arguing the wrong things and just, just won't stop pretty much.
Right.
That's like, all right, you got to go somewhere else.
Right.
You got to go over here."
And I know it's wrong, but as a coach, there's times that you have to thread that line.
Yeah, you do. And now, and as an umpire, like I said, I was new. So one of the first times I threw him out, I was pretty new.
Yeah.
I was probably, dude, two month in probably.
Right.
First time. So at the beginning, I didn't know how to handle like argument with people.
Right.
That confrontation, because it's like, how do you handle that? Somebody in your ear
right.
the whole game. How do you handle that? And then you got other umpires telling you, "I have to throw this guy out. Throw him out. Throw him out. Throw him out." Okay, fine. See ya. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as I've developed with the umpiring stuff, it's like, okay, I've learned to calm down and just strictly say, "All right, instead of throwing you out, buddy, I'm gonna put you in the dugout."
Right.
I don't have to yell at you. I don't have to argue with you. I just smile and say, "I don't think so. Please go sit in the dugout."
Right.
And I restrict them there.
Yeah.
And then they cannot leave that dugout unless I tell them to.
Right.
I mean, outside after the game, of course.
Right. I get what you're saying.
But they are not allowed to be outside that dugout.
Right. I think
and it's like babysitting them, really.
It is. If I was to ever umpire, and maybe in the future, right now I just don't have time, but maybe in the future, because I think that would be fun. I could see after the boys all of my kids are grown, something to do. I think it would be a good time.
It's fun. It is a great time.
But I think as long as I got through an inning and it was happening and all of that, maybe while the other team's warming up, I'd probably go over and have a conversation with the coach. Yeah. Hey, listen, I understand that you disagree with what I'm doing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, it's your call, your vision, your game, your strike zone, your everything.
Right, and you have a short leash, buddy. You need to chill.
Yeah.
I'm just warning you that if you don't change, I'm going to toss you.
Yeah. And like, so when I do my plate meetings, I'm typically, you know how they go, but
yep.
I just typically go up there and I just tell the coaches, "Look, we're adults here.
Yep.
Let's just be adults. You got a question, just come to me.
Yep.
Just call time. Don't run the home plate. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Just call time. I will address you, I promise.
Yeah.
But if we're in the middle of a game, middle of a pitch, I'm not going to let you have time.
Right.
Because I don't have to allow you to have time.
Right.
Because there's a call. I don't even have to argue with you about it.
Right.
I can just say, "Go sit down." But I'm nice enough that I'm like, "All right, we'll talk about it. What's up? What'd you see?" I'm like, "No, this is what I saw." And you're not going to change my mind.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're literally arguing. For me, arguing with umpire does nothing.
It does nothing for you.
No, it doesn't. And matter of fact, a lot of umpires I know, if it's a close call, who do you think's going to get the call?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I tell my coaches that all the time. Whenever I was coaching full time, I said, I don't want you to argue with the umpires. I don't want the boys to, and I don't want you to. I want you to be nice to them because they're not used to that.
No, I'm not saying I won't. I'm not gonna give a call to somebody. I do it fairly. As fair as
I know
can.
you do.
So now, but like if it's something that's close, sometimes, dude, it's like you don't know.
Right.
You really don't. You
Right.
just gotta make the best judgment call you can. It's not. We don't have instant replay,
Right.
especially like home plate.
God almighty, I do not want anybody to bring instant replay into freaking Little League, man.
They
It'll be a
might.
nightmare.
They might
Be a nightmare.
And one of the worst, toughest calls to make is home plate.
Yeah.
Because them kids are coming, and you got a catcher that's right on the ball.
Yeah.
Guy's sliding. And if you're not watching the right body parts,
Yep.
you don't know what touched home plate first.
Right.
So you're like, oh crap, what do I do? What do I do? You know, so you got to make the decision quick about what you've seen. And
Right.
you only got a split second because you can't react too slow because everybody's waiting for the call.
Yep.
It gets dead silent, dude. They're like, what's the call? What's the call? And
Yep.
then you're like, out. And then you hear the other team, oh, are you kidding me? Then if it's safe, you're like, the other team, oh, what the heck? So either way you do it, nobody's going to be happy.
No, absolutely not. It would be difficult to be an umpire.
And you might miss it. I mean, I'm not saying I 100% get it right all the time because you might miss it.
Right.
But it's the visual at the time that you see.
Absolutely.
Now, I would love to, like, for somebody to film a game. And if somebody showed me at the end of the game, because I've had people threaten that, I can show you the video
Yeah.
at the end of the game. Let's look at it. Well, if you want to bring it over to me at the end of the game, I'll watch it.
Right.
It's not going to change anything.
Right.
You can go.
And for me, the biggest part of it was 90% of, probably 98% of the game is smooth.
Yeah.
There's 2%
Yeah.
that you lose to bad calls,
Yeah.
right? Because it happens. It is what it
It
is.
does happen.
And there's no sense arguing about it. It
No.
doesn't change anything. And and my coaches get so bent out of shape. I'm like, listen, if that one out is the only difference, and our kid was truly safe, and he got called out for whatever reason, right? If that one play is the only difference between us winning and losing, it's still not worth arguing.
No, it's not because it ain't going to change.
No.
Just I've had like game decision calls happen like that,
Yeah.
and the game's over. We called the game.
Yeah.
Coach runs over the through. No.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, the game's over, man. Ain't
Yep.
nothing you can argue. It's over.
Yep.
I mean, it just does no good. And parents arguing, dude, that's one of the worst too. If you sit behind home plate and nag that umpire the whole game, he's probably gonna finally turn around and tell you to shut up.
Yep. I couldn't do the parents is what ruins everything.
Oh yeah, dude, it's bad. Because everybody, I mean, now I think you and I both are kind of the same in this. You know your kid's not the best.
Right.
You know your kid's good.
Right.
But you know it's not the best.
Right.
Or they could be better, I guess I should say.
Right.
They could get better. But you're not here for them to be the best.
No.
Because if you're the best on your team, how much better are you going to get?
Right. I don't ever want my boys to be the best on the
No,
team.
you don't. That's why I told my wife, I think next year we're going to look at some teams. I want to go somewhere where my daughter's the worst player on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I tell my wife. I want my boys to be.
No, I don't want it to be where she's discouraged, but I want it to where she's going to be like, oh crap, these girls are ahead of my level.
I want my boys to be bottom 3.
Right. Yeah, that's me.
They don't have to be the worst. They don't have to be the best. I want them to be bottom 3.
So like I said, I know we talked about earlier on the way here. I told you like towards the end of the season, my daughter, she kind of, I mean, she wasn't horrible or nothing. She just kind of plateaued, just
Right.
stayed the same.
And as a parent who coaches that child, you can see that stuff.
Yeah, and I knew that, and I'm a realist. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, she's just the greatest.
Right.
I mean, she's good, yes, because I mean she's 9 years old and she pitches 42 miles an hour fastball.
Right.
That's good for softball.
Seems great.
So I mean that's fast because
Yeah.
high school girls pitch 65.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I mean, so she's got a good arm. Her accuracy could get better, but she's getting there.
Yeah.
Now, so we this fall ball, we didn't play fall ball, so we made the team. So we played fall ball with this other team out of Richmond, Indiana. We played one tournament with them because
Yeah.
we needed a sub. He's like, "Dude, will you sub with us?" I said, "Yeah, we will." So okay, so we did that. My daughter pitched the best I've ever seen her pitch.
Yeah.
Dude, she struck. What was it? They brought her in as they didn't start her not one time, which I'm okay with that. They brought her in
Right.
as a reliever. They said, "All right, I need you to get these girls out." Okay, cool. She threw probably 13 pitches, maybe 13, something like that. Struck out 2 of the batters.
Yeah.
And then got an out. So that's what they wanted. They're just screaming. She struck out the last batter. That was even better. Cool. Good job. Next game, same thing. Brought her in to close the game. Because had they scored, they would have won. We tied that game. That first game, we tied it.
I got you.
So she didn't give up the run, so we tied. This was heck yeah. And then second game, we were down by 1 run. They brought her in to close out the game. She struck out 3 girls, 9 pitches.
That's awesome.
Dude, I couldn't believe it.
Right.
I was standing up against the fence. I was like, holy crap. My daughter played so well that weekend, that team. Next day said, hey, we want you full time.
Right.
I said, dude, you're out of Richmond, Indiana.
Right.
2 hours away, man. If there's any way we can make this work. bud, like I can't, man.
Right.
Now I would be if he was like just 1 day a week practice, 4-hour practice, I might consider it.
Right.
But even then, dude, you're talking 4-hour drive time on a Sunday. So you're talking 4 hours in a car ride.
A whole day's gone
just driving and
right.
4-hour practice. I'm like, man, I'd love to.
And I think maybe when the boys get older, 14, 15, 16, if they get an opportunity that's for a bigger organization and it makes sense and I have to do some more traveling, maybe.
That's funny.
But I'm not doing it for my 9-year-old.
No, and that's like my daughter. She's 9.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're 9.
Yeah.
Like, we went to the man command last year. Like I said, she played up. But we didn't have the greatest record, and that's okay.
Right.
I was there for the experience.
Yep.
And we got tons of knowledge, tons of experience. Now I know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know. I know how expensive bats are, what you should buy. I know what kind of glove you need. I know what kind of cleats you should have.
Yeah. My son makes me laugh all the time when it comes to baseball bats. He'll see his buddy using a bat and he'll hit a bomb with it, right?
He wants to use it.
And he's like, Dad, I need that bat. No, you don't. You need to fix your mechanics.
Yes.
I could give you a $20 bat or a $500 bat, and if you can't hit the damn thing with it, you're not going to hit the ball anywhere.
No, that's right. So my daughter, like I said, we were kind of looking at bats, and one of the hottest softball bats is an Easton Ghost bat.
Yeah. Well, it's same thing in baseball. The Ghost is solid.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Now, so I was like, all right, you need a Ghost bat. Fine, I'll buy you one. So instead of going out and buying new, I just got on eBay. Got this bat shipped to me. I think I paid $170.
Yeah.
Not bad. Dude, that bat
It was
hot.
used?
It was used.
Okay.
We get it. Dude, you could hear it when she hit. Pop, pop. I was like, holy crap, sounds amazing. Dude, you could hear it. Even the hitting coach was like, holy cow, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I know. This is awesome. She did real well with it. Well, then towards the end of the season, I think she may have hit a growth spurt because, dude, she couldn't hit for crap.
Mm-hmm.
She was either walking or striking out towards the end of the season. But she still batted like 400s, which is good.
Right.
She was striking out at the end or walking every time. I'm like, man, what are you striking out for? Is your bat too small or what? And I kept watching her, and she'd be right up on the plate with that bat. So I knew, I was like, okay, this is too small. It has to be.
Right.
So this year I told her, I was like, well, I'm going to buy you a bat. So I bought her a custom 2023 CF bat.
Yeah.
Off DeMarini.
Yep.
$425.
Yep. I just bought one.
Custom. I was like, okay, cool. Well, so we did all the shipping stuff on it. And come to find out that something happened. There was a glitch in their system that they canceled my order. They don't ever cancel custom orders.
Yeah.
They canceled it. I was like, what the heck happened? So there's a glitch in their system. So they sent me a 30% off coupon. So I ended up getting this bat, dude, for like $325.
Dang.
I was like, that's a steal.
Yeah.
So we were pretty excited about that.
We had been talking about trading a new bat because he had a DeMarini last year, and we bought it used for like $250. Which now knowing what I know, that's stupid. Okay. But I was still learning. I never bought a used bat before.
Yeah.
And in the middle of winter practices last year, I was on the other side of the gym and he was hitting. And I always pay attention no matter what. And he hit one ball and it sounded great. And the next one sounded funny. And I'm like, what was that? And he swung it one more time. And Bob, who was one of my assistant coaches, hollered at me and was like, hey, come here. And he's like, there's something wrong with Trayton's bat. And it's a 2-piece, right, which is his new one is too. And it didn't break all the way apart, but you could grab both pieces and flex them. No. And I'm like, God. And so I learned that, hey, spend the extra money.
Yeah, always.
Get a new bat.
Yeah, always.
And because you get a warranty. And so I started ordering through Just Bats, which is where I primarily buy bats from.
That's a good site.
And the thing I like about it is you get it, you can go try it, and if it's not the right size or whatever, you ordered the wrong one, you can send it back and you can get the right one. And it comes with a year warranty. And so I no longer have that problem, which is great. And we just ordered, the bat he got this year it's a 2023 model. I don't even know what it's called. It's a DeMarini. Drop 8. He loves it. That's all I care about. And a new bat is the mental side of it is more than anything is what helps people. Because, again, if you don't have the form and mechanics, you're not going to hit the ball anyway, so it don't matter.
But yeah, like we were talking earlier, like I said, my daughter, she subs that team.
Yeah.
Best she ever played, best she ever pitched. Dude, some of the best shit she's had. So one of the games real competitive team.
Right.
So we get going and we're in the tournament the Sunday, and what was it? Yeah, so it's my daughter's got a full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, and she goes up the bat. This is all all for the marbles, not the
Right.
championship, but just going to the next round. And the team that this was a team that we lost by 1 run, we lost by 1 run the day before. So we're like, oh yeah. So my daughter smokes it to the outfield, goes right to the center fielder. Dude, this center fielder hadn't caught a ball all night. Made the spectacular catch out there. Had that ball literally been 2 inches away from her, she wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
Caught the ball.
Dang.
My daughter come off to the field balling, and the coach she was like, "That was a great hit."
Right. What are you mad about?
Yeah, what are you mad about?
They made a great play, and you had a great hit.
That guy was so happy because we are so proud that you subbed with us. You carried us a lot this weekend. Thank you.
Right.
She was so upset about it, and I was like, man. And I told her, I said, "It's going to happen a lot."
Yep.
I was like, you're not going to be the superhero every day.
Right.
Can't be the superhero every day. It's not going to happen. You have to rely on your teammates to help carry.
Yeah. And I think, for me, whenever I was growing up playing, I remember getting upset at myself. I'd hit a rocket to short, and a dude would field it and throw it to first and get me out, and I'd be so mad. And so I understand where they're coming from. Now, as an adult and a coach, it's like, man, you can't be mad about that.
No, you can't.
You did everything I asked you to do.
Yep.
You gave me everything you got. You hit a missile. He fielded it. He did his job.
Yeah.
You did yours. He did his. You got out.
Yeah, it's like when we got that ghost bat last year, the first time she used it, first tournament. Hit it to the shortstop. Smoked that shortstop so hard in the chest that shortstop fell down and dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Didn't catch it. And she was so happy. And everybody said that sounded like it was a missile.
Right.
Because I wasn't there, I was umpiring, but it was a missile.
Yeah.
I was like, good job.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot. It's all fun. You learn a ton of stuff, meet a ton of good people.
Ton of great people.
And for me, and I know this probably sounds sort of cliche, but when me and my kids and my wife and all of us go to a baseball park to go play baseball at a travel organization level, I don't have to worry about my kids, man.
No, you don't.
If they're running and playing over there on the playground, I don't have to worry about it for the most part.
And a lot of people don't realize when you get in travel ball, outside of the team expenses, like I think you guys mentioned this before, what it costs to fill up a cooler.
Oh, man.
You got your cooler. You got to fill it up with food. You got the snacks you got to fill up.
Yep.
The water, the Gatorades.
Yep.
I don't know what you guys bring, but we always bring like lunch meat and that stuff.
Yep.
We bring beef jerkies and chips and cookies and all kinds of stuff. But, if your kid wanted something from somebody else, they'd be like, oh, yeah, no problem.
Absolutely.
And we did the same thing, everybody had food, but it's like, hey, can I have one of those? Absolutely.
Right.
One of the kids' little brothers, sisters, whatever. Can we have one of those? Yeah.
Absolutely.
With some chips? Yeah.
If it's in my cooler and we're there, you're part of my crew, you're welcome to it.
Take it. Heck, I'd give it to some of the other teams. That little kid came up and was looking at me like they wanted.
Absolutely.
You want some here, dude?
Yeah.
Take it.
And we have the team Trayton's on, and the Wayland's team, but Trayton's team primarily. Great group of people, great families. Just the whole team atmosphere is different, and I think that's why they'll be as successful as they will be this year.
See, we would have went back to the man command, but our coach moved up to 12.
Right.
And so all our parents are kind of dispersed. They have like a couple of the same parents that we really like.
Right.
But most of them, some of them are different, and then other people disperse elsewhere.
Right.
So it's like, man, I kind of wish we could all stay together.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, and they'll have that.
You guys, so with the coolers and stuff, do you guys have one of those weather pods?
No. My wife wants one, but I haven't done it yet.
I haven't either.
Last time I looked, it was like $199. That's insane.
That's insane. First, you could probably make one.
Right. We have the canopies.
Yeah, we have that one.
And that helps a ton.
That's another expense people don't really realize.
Yep.
The wagon.
Yep.
Everybody has a wagon.
Everybody's got a wagon.
You gotta have a wagon.
I wouldn't go to one without one though.
No, we did that. I think our first tournament, and didn't know we carried all that stuff.
Yeah, we went the very first baseball tournament we played in. We went to the ballpark Saturday, and you don't think about all that.
No,
so you're packing all this shit up there, and you get up there, you see all these wagons sitting around and canopies popped up. As soon as we left the ballpark Saturday, we went straight to Walmart and bought everything we needed.
Yep.
And then we went back Sunday prepared.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then also you're going to purchase the T-shirts.
I buy one shirt per
Kid.
player at that tournament.
Yep.
So if Trayton's playing in this tournament, he gets one
Yep.
shirt. If Waylon, he gets a shirt. Nobody else gets a shirt.
No, yeah,
That's the only two because they're expensive.
$20 pop.
Yeah.
Making a killing off those.
They are. And then the other thing that I love that they have them. Man, I hate it. Is every one of them I go to, they got all the necklaces, sunglasses, fidgets,
and all the boys had the girls and boys had the pit vipers.
Yep, I hate pit vipers, man. They're so ugly.
90s, man, it's coming back.
It is. Everything 90s is coming back. What's your favorite part about umpiring?
Man, I like the atmosphere.
Yeah.
There's no atmosphere like a baseball atmosphere.
Yeah.
Nothing. Softball, baseball is nothing. Especially when, like me, I like to get there. I get there probably, this might sound stupid, but I have the same routine when I go umpire. I get up, I go to McDonald's, I grab coffee, and I grab a something to eat, go to the ballpark. I'm usually there an hour early. Nobody's there.
Yeah.
I go in with all my gear, I go walk around the ballpark. Dude, it's quiet.
Yep.
It's usually a nice breeze because it's colder in the summer mornings a lot.
Yep.
Nice breeze coming in, dude. Nobody's here.
There's nothing like it.
Just walk around, man. Soak it in. You're like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's great. And the kids are probably one of the better parts of it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie if I said the pay's not good, but the pay's good, too.
Right. Hey, I'm glad that you do it.
Dude, one of the best experience I had, I went to Indy because Ohio Valley didn't have a tournament, so I went over to the Indy group.
Yeah.
I got one over to that ballpark in, where's that one at? I can't think of it. It's where they do the little League World Series.
Oh, the like Grand Park or whatever?
Dude, that tournament was huge.
Yeah.
And they didn't even fill up half that whole area. They didn't even fill half of it.
Really?
I was like, and there's a lot of teams there.
Right.
They didn't fill up half that ballpark. You could probably fit, I swear, 40, 50 more teams and been fine.
No kidding.
Dude, concession, I was like, holy crap.
They're building another one somewhere up around there. I don't know where it is, but it's another version of that. It's in another town that's close to Indy. But
well, then Ohio Valley, they just worked out a deal with Bloomington.
Yeah.
I think it's Ohio Valley. Could be wrong. I know softball is doing it too, but I think Ohio Valley is doing it too.
Yeah.
Going out with Bloomington now, I think.
That's cool.
I know for softball for sure. I don't know. I think Ohio Valley did the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one of the worst experience I had though umpiring.
That was my next question. What's the least favorite or worst experience?
Worst experience I ever had, and this is so bad. It's horrible. This guy, there was a kid. Like I said, now I'm not racist, and and racism is a big topic right now.
Right.
So this kid on the mound, he was a black kid, a little heavier, but both teams had black kids on their team.
Right.
So no big deal. I don't even care about that.
Right.
Kid was a little heavier. He'd been pitching probably 4 or 5 innings, getting tired.
Right.
Tired. Ball. I couldn't even help the guy out.
Right.
Coach kept him in. Kept walking. Walk.
Poor coaching.
Poor coaching. And I'm like, and the head coach is black. I'm remind you of that team. I'm like, whatever. Don't even care.
Right.
I'm like, just whatever. So I'm sitting here, and next thing I hear is, I bet if he was white, or if he was white, you'd give him a strike.
Yeah, that's awful.
That came from an assistant coach in the back.
Yeah,
a white coach.
I'd sent him immediately.
I stopped the game at the time. I said, "What did you just say?" He said, "You heard me." I said, "Well, you heard me. Go out the parking lot.
Yeah.
Get out of here. No need for that." Dude, I was so distraught that game. I had to pause the game. I went and got the director. I'm like, "Dude, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
You do something about it right now. I'm not dealing with it."
Yeah, that's insane.
And I told that coach, that head black coach, I said, "Sir," I said, "listen," I said, "with all the crap going on in this world, I said, this is not the place for that."
Right.
I said, "Your coach is out of line." And that guy, you know what he told me? He said, "I stand behind my coach."
So you had to send him too.
I was like, dude, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I was like, man, there's black kids on this other team. Do you really think that do you really think that?
Right.
Do you really think that? I mean, like, come on, dude. You're in an atmosphere where there's black, there's white, there's Hispanics,
Yep.
there's even Japanese kids out there. There's all kinds of kids out here. There's
Yep.
even girls. I've
Yep.
seen girls on travel baseball teams.
Me too.
They're on there.
I love it.
It's crazy. It's wild. And and I'm like, I don't care. I don't discriminate. I don't care.
Right.
If I did, why would I be here? That's not the place I'd be.
Right.
You know what I mean? This would be the least place I'd be.
Yeah, this is a freaking melting pot, man.
I mean, this is you're talking little kids baseball. That crap don't need to be here.
And see, that's the thing that probably would frustrate me the most about it is you are indirectly or indirectly, however you want to look at it, putting that thought process into a young kid.
Yeah, And so at the end of the game, I went to that coach. I took my sunglasses off, dude. I was almost in tears because I was so hurt by it. You know,
Right.
I was hurt. I told that coach, I said, "Sir, I said, I want you to know, I said that was the worst thing anybody's ever said to me on a baseball field."
Yeah.
I said that is absolutely uncalled for. I said, I'm sorry you guys feel that way, but I said there was no need for that.
Right.
I said, and I really hope that you guys fix that situation.
Right.
He said, then he tells me, I'm sorry too, because I will get dealt with. I mean, of course, I don't know what happened with that.
Right.
But I was like, man, there is no need for that.
No.
And the whole time this is going on, my other umpire, that kid, he goes, "What's going on?" And that guy's like, "Hey, man, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what's going to adult stuff. You don't need to know.
Right.
Don't worry about it."
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah. Like, so that kid had no idea what was going on. And I'm like, there's no need for that.
Right.
Dude, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yep. I've seen coaches do some pretty nasty things. I've seen coaches, what I consider, hang pitchers out to dry.
I do it.
They leave them out way too long. They pitch 80 freaking pitches in a weekend.
Bad.
Look, man, these boys are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even up to 17 years old when they play in high school. Man, it's not worth it.
No.
It ain't worth
and
it.
They're going to burn these kids out.
Absolutely.
And then another time, it's probably last fall, but you guys may have been playing too, but it was pouring down rain. They canceled it. Pouring. I think it was towards the end of October. It was pouring down rain. And they hadn't canceled the games yet. And we're out here.
At Freeman Field?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pouring down rain. And they hadn't canceled it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's pouring.
On Championship Sunday.
Yes, Championship Sunday. Coaches are getting mad at me. Why aren't you calling this game? I said, I can't do. There's a puddle behind. Like, I'm in it too. Like, and they're yelling at me about it.
Right.
Like, dude, I'm back here behind home plate, soaked.
Right.
Your catcher's in a puddle. I'm in a puddle. The pitcher's slipping on the mound. The players are in puddles. This is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I said, yeah, you're right. It is. Well, you need to call it. Parents are yelling at me. I said, I can't. I do not have that authority. I am not the director. I said, I can't.
Right.
So he's like, get the director. So I call him, and he finally runs over there. He's like, oh, yeah, we got to cancel these. I was like, you could have told me that like 30 minutes ago.
Right.
That's pouring, but yeah, that was miserable.
Yeah.
So having kids playing that, dude, I was like, I felt bad for the kids.
Yeah. All of our boys were soaked.
Oh, I was soaked.
Because we hung out at the little shelter house out in the parking lot.
Yep.
While it was raining, because look, we was sure as shit they was gonna cancel them.
Yep, they should have.
And it was like 10 minutes till we were supposed to be up there to play baseball. And me and the coaches were like, we have to go up there. Those games are still going. It's unfit to play baseball because it's raining so hard, but we still have to go.
Dude, the fields are covered.
You couldn't see. Like on one of the fields, you couldn't see third base.
No,
it was so watered down.
And that's the worst thing about Freeman Field, dude. It rains, that field's done.
Yeah.
You can't even salvage it.
No.
What's your favorite field to play on? Probably Cedar Lane.
No. I don't like the turf.
I don't either.
If you want me to be honest with you.
I don't like it either.
Two things I don't like about turf is
it's too hot. Burns my feet.
So that's true. I haven't thought about that.
The umpires be back here all day. That hurts.
But that's the only place we play that is turf, and so every time the boys go there, they have to readjust their slides and other things.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And
oh yeah, you slip and slide there.
And the ball bounces so crazy, and I hate that. So for me, that's not it.
That's not baseball.
I like man, I don't know. There's several of them. I like playing in North Vernon just because it's our home fields.
Never umpired there yet.
But
other than that park ball.
Right. And the only reason I really like it's just because of that. I'm trying to think of the name of the park that I love. I really like Paoli. Most people don't.
I've never been there.
I love Paoli.
I'd like to go.
Paoli sits down in a valley. I thought I turned that on silent.
Now another field I like, Greensburg.
I like Greensburg's fields.
I like them. They're nice. And I like
the ones there by the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sierra Land's food's probably best.
Yeah. Look, I think that the facility-wise, Saralands are the best. And even with the turf, they're the best. I just don't like playing on them.
No, yeah, turf sucks.
But the whole setup there is nice.
I think they're redoing them or redid them or something.
I don't know.
I thought I seen that. I could be wrong.
Well, they put they put college ball in over there.
Maybe that's why they did it.
They just put in a college baseball, softball field over there. And it's turf as well.
And then they redid the gym, too, for the volleyball.
Yes.
Good.
It is.
Moving up.
It is. I like it. The other thing that I like is about Saraland is everywhere else has porta pots outside, and Saraland does too. But I bypass them and I go up to the gym and I go in and go to the restroom because
it's
I
air
hate porta
conditioned,
pots. It's air conditioned. Yeah, it gives you a break.
Yeah.
The only thing that I dislike about Saraland is the way the dugouts are, the way they're designed, because the ball can roll right into the dugout so easy.
Then it's a run, or not a run, but a base.
It's an advance, and I hate that.
I do too.
I understand the rule and I understand why that should be that way. I just think that those are ill-designed.
Greensburg, the only thing about Greensburg is the ball, they do get stuck underneath the fence sometimes.
Yep.
And it's another advancement rule.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy playing at Freeman Field.
Yeah,
Other than if it rains,
I do enjoy Freeman Field too. I think that's probably one of my favorite fields to umpire at. I like the food better at Saraland though.
I do like the food better at Saraland. The one thing that I wish, and I don't know if it's an Ohio Valley thing or if it's just Saraland, but you go to baseball parks and everything's cash. You go to Saraland's, everything's credit, no cash.
Yeah.
So I wish that it wasn't that way.
I think they should all be on the same page. At least.
It's either all credit card or it's all cash.
Yeah.
Or you can do both. I'm cool with doing both. That'd be even better for me.
Yeah, for everybody.
But you have to go get cash to get into them, no matter what.
Yep.
So you go and pull out $50, and then you're like, okay, well, we'll just get snacks. Well, then you get there and you forget that, oh shit, you can only pay with credit card here.
Yep. And if you don't have any cash on you or whatever, and the kid wants them, you can't get it.
Right.
Or you have to go out of the ballpark to go get it.
Right. So I wish that.
And Saraland's not in a spot exactly really close to anything.
No. Closest thing, Circle K.
10 minutes, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, probably for me, that's probably. I really do like Saraland's facilities. I just wish that they had the whole cash and credit card thing squared away.
I think so. I think what I want to do with umpiring is my number one goal. I think I'd like to do a Little League World Series one time.
Yeah.
Just to say I've done it.
I am super excited. Trayton's team's going to the Perfect Game World Series.
That's awesome.
In May 30th through June 3rd. We're going to Gulf Shores.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I'm really excited for that.
See, I want to do one of those. I'd like to get enough to where I could go to one of those trips just to umpire.
Right, that would be cool.
That'd be fun. And I know the Little League World, you don't get paid for the Little League World Series, which I don't care about that.
Right.
I just want to go to say I've done it.
Right. Did you know? So I looked up, because I think Trayton's team has a team that this year, and 12-year-olds the last year of that, because that's 11 and 12-year-olds is what plays in a Little League World Series. Trayton's team is going to be really fun to watch. Really, really good. And as long as they finish the blend that's necessary, it's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, they're
I
pretty
truly
good.
believe that. With that being said, I truly wish that they could go play in a Little League World Series, but you cannot unless your team plays under the Little League baseball program organization. That's the only way you can get into it, and there's not one in Southern Indiana.
I was wondering how you get in there.
Indianapolis is the closest. I'm not playing, and you have to play. It's like rec ball, but it's Little League rec ball. You have to play in that in order to go to the Little League World Series.
And then you go to the regional in Indiana or whatever.
Yep, and you play up through it, and then you can go to the World Series.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I was wondering how you got in there. You
Yep.
guys aren't going to do it?
We can't. Because there's not a Little League organization here.
Around here, yeah. You don't want to drive to Indy either.
I'm not driving to Indy.
No.
Just to play baseball.
No. Unless you have to. See, that's one thing about softball.
If I had to.
See, that's one thing about softball. Like, we're in a region, like, it's like Ohio Valley. You only go to these certain fields.
Right.
That's how softball is. So, like, we go to, our farthest one we have to go to is Fishers.
Right.
Which is Greenwood area Fishers.
Right.
So that's where that's our farthest one we have to go. And, there's a couple times where we played on kind of sucked because we had to play on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday night, turn around.
I hate Friday night games.
Turn around on Saturday, wake up at 8 a.m., go play again. And then depending on what time you get done, turn around and go back Sunday because they're not going to championship Sunday. Everybody plays. So
I heard softball is different than baseball when it comes to that too. So is it true that if you guys play on Saturday and you get through all of your the games to where you seed out pool play, do you guys go into championship games on Saturday too?
Sometimes.
Yeah. See, baseball does not do that.
Not all the time. I mean, sometimes they will. Well, they won't do like a lot of the championship bracket stuff.
Right.
They might do like one round, but they'll do consolation, some of them.
Really?
And they'll make you come back for one game next day.
See, we don't.
They will make you. I'm like, because they lose that money, they don't.
Right. Because it's a 3-game minimum.
Now, if there's a like a tournament where it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Now you might play Friday night. You might not play all Saturday and then championship Sunday, or vice versa. You might play Saturday and Sunday, so you might.
Well, so that is the same for us.
Yeah, there was a time that my daughter, she played Friday night. We didn't play until Sunday, so she had Saturday.
And
off.
so if we have a 3-day tournament and we play on Friday, we don't play Saturday.
Yeah, which I mean that's good too. But I don't know. I don't really like the Friday night games.
Me neither. But the Friday night, the advantage to it is it resets your pitchers.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're past. If you stay less than 3 innings, you only got to pause for 24 hours.
True. Yeah, that's true.
And so you're good to go for the next day. And that's why that happens. And I don't know. Is the pitch count's a big deal? So at least for these younger boys.
Yeah, they go by innings. And
they go by innings and not pitches. As an umpire, do you guys watch that?
No, we just count innings.
Yeah.
Like, we have a scorecard and we just write on there,
right.
how many innings that guy pitched.
Which I've had to correct before.
Have you? Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Only once though. Every other time it's been great. I've only had to correct it once. I brought Trayton in to finish an inning, and they're like, he went 1 1/4. I'm like, no, he went a quarter.
Sometimes they're probably not paying attention.
Right, and it's no big deal. He's like,
you'll have them guys. You'll have them guys that don't pay attention the whole game. They'll be there talking the whole time.
Right. And he's like, oh, you're right. You're right. I know. That's okay.
Or if you're waiting on an umpire.
Man, I hate waiting on an umpire. I tell you what I hate worse than anything. Worse than anything is when you only get one.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
From an umpire standpoint, it has to be the worst.
Dude, it's bad. I have not had to do one by myself. I almost did once, but I started a couple games by myself, and a guy showed up late.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
We played a championship game with one umpire.
Was it Brian Page?
I don't remember who it was.
Long-haired ponytail guy?
I don't remember.
He's my favorite.
My favorite is, God, what's his name? Older black guy.
Me?
You, yeah. Also, older black guy.
I'm trying to think. I don't know who it is. I probably know him.
Yeah. God, Mr. I don't know. He does a lot of Ohio Valley.
Flo?
Flo, yes. I love that dude.
I've worked with Flo. He's fun. You know that dude gets dressed in the parking lot?
Yep.
And he listens on Sunday. He's blaring Christian. Listen to gospel on the radio.
Yep.
Listen to the sermons, and he's out there getting ready. And
so whenever we played in Columbus, at right there by Dunham's. That's a really nice facility too.
They still play, already started playing there?
No, we did last year. He was parked with his Cadillac in the grass with the trunk open in the back of it
with the chair,
jamming out to music, getting ready for the baseball day,
and hollering at everybody that walked by,
and talking to everybody. And on Mother's Day weekend,
handing out
that man bought roses and handed them to every mother that was there that he came across.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
He buys candy for the kids.
Yeah.
He buys chips for the kids. This guy, he had a bag of chips for the kids getting foul balls.
Yeah.
One of them was Talkies on there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
He's whenever you get him as an ump, I don't even care how the game goes.
He's a good dude.
He makes a bad call. I don't care at all.
No, he makes it worthwhile. And you know what's cool about him is I've only ever seen him get mad one time.
Yeah, I've never seen him mad.
One time, I was umpiring with it because I was in the field and he was doing behind the plate.
Right.
This guy, he was, I don't know what his problem was, but I can't remember what the whole argument was about. It was something small, I thought.
Yeah.
But the guy said something to him and Flo didn't like the way he came across.
Yeah.
He said, "Get your butt in the dugout now."
Yeah.
Made him go in the dugout. He's like, he goes, "No need to argue, just go on in."
Yeah.
Just go on in. That's all he said, and that guy went. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And then that guy said, "Can I come back?" He goes, "Did you learn your lesson?"
Yeah. He was down in New Albany when we played umping, and kids would come over to the fence and would be talking to him while he's umpiring because he interacts with people inside and outside the fence.
I tried to.
And they was in between innings, and he was standing over the fence, and he was asking this little girl a question. Hey, if you get this right, I'll give you this bag of cookies or whatever. And she answered. He goes, "Nope, that's not right." He said, "Repeat after me." And he gave her the answer. He's like, "Oh, that's right. Here's your cookies."
Yeah, he's a good dude. There's a lot of good ones.
There are.
There's some bad ones though.
Yep.
There's some guys that just won't put up with anything.
Yep. And I tell you, the thing for me is strike zones. Yeah. And here's where I struggle. Sometimes you get people that are used to calling high school games, and their strike zone is tight. and they forget that these boys are 9 years old and 11 years old and a little bit wilder. And it's a walk fest.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing too. Is like, see, there's two ways you can go about that. Like me, I'm more. I guess I'm gonna say this. I'm more of a pitcher's umpire
Right.
because sometimes even pitchers are throwing great pitches and they won't call them.
Right.
You know, because I call them right at the knees, and I call them right here.
Yeah.
That's a strike zone.
Yep. It was when I played.
I mean, so whenever the kids get older, because especially depending on I guess what level they're in.
Right.
Because if you're in AAA, your pitching is supposed to be
Right.
top-notch.
And it should be tighter.
In AA, same, a little bit, not as strict as AAA, but A, it's kind of like, well, here and there.
Yeah.
Because if a pitcher's struggling, if it's a walk fest and you're winning big, and that kid's just walk,
Right.
and he gets one even close and somebody calls a strike, how can you get mad at the umpire?
Right.
Why would you get mad at the umpire?
Right.
I've had
I see coaches get mad about it.
I'm like, and then I've heard even fans go back to their coach and say, "Do you want to be here all day?"
Right. I don't.
I don't either. Like, this game's like, no offense, but this game's boring.
If I'm beating the other team 18-1, help them.
Well, that's like the last game that I umpired with you guys, and you may remember that coach. The game was going pretty smooth, and then that coach at the end, he was mad because what'd you guys do? He didn't want to get run ruled.
Yeah.
And your guys' pitcher was up to bat, and he walked him.
Yep.
And then he was mad because he didn't want you guys to score.
Yeah.
To get run ruled.
Yeah.
So we could get out of the game.
Next kid up smoked one.
And he smoked one, and then the next inning, they got the out.
Yeah.
Or something. They got the out, and then we had to go an extra inning because of them.
Yeah.
And then they actually scored like 2 or 3 runs.
Yep.
I think that game, and you guys still won, but I was like,
right. Wow. And we smoked them.
Yeah.
Which I hate. That's not what I want. And so we bumped up. We're no longer where we
guys were
needed
smoking
to.
them, and then they got mad because they were getting ready to get run ruled, and they ended up making it to another half inning so they could do that one more time.
Yep.
Like, come on, guys. This inning should have been over. This was the last inning.
And, for me, I know as a coach you don't ever want to give up on your boys.
No.
But be responsible.
Yeah.
Because you wasted another half inning of my pitcher, and I still beat you 15-6.
Yeah, that's wrong.
It's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to my boys.
No, and I feel like, and another thing that drives me nuts is, if someone's getting smoked and we have a minute left on the clock, a lot of umpires will call it.
Yeah.
I won't because it's just not right. But
right.
We have 30 seconds left. They're like, we got to start another inning. You're losing 15-1.
Right.
Well, I'm sure the other coach is going to be fine with you go ahead and calling it.
Yeah.
But they want to play another inning.
Yep.
Like, why?
I called a game in the middle of it as a coach. I don't like doing that. My boys were not there to play. We was getting beat 20-2.
Yeah, what's the point?
It was in the second inning. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the other coach, his boys would get on base, and he wouldn't steal. He wouldn't run on them. And I went over to him. I'm like, hey, don't quit. I want you to keep them running.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I can't do that to you guys. I want you to. It gives my guys an opportunity to throw down to second or try to pick off whatever. Do something. He's like, I can't do this. I'm going to call a ball game if you don't start playing baseball again. And he's like, I'm not doing it. And so I called a ball game.
It's like softball. They the same way kind of with 9U baseball. You can't lead off or steal.
Right.
Until the ball crosses the plate. I think that goes all the way. I think that's even all the way through. Maybe all the way through US AAA. I'm not sure because on softball, because I don't do a lot of softball.
Right.
But I know my daughter was pitching. If we were struggling in a game, my daughter was, because there was a couple of games, like one tournament, my daughter was the only pitcher we had.
Yeah.
Because one girl was out and some other girls weren't there. My daughter was the only pitcher we had, and she struggled the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And
that's rough.
And a lot of the coaches would let the girls go early, and it's an out.
Yeah.
But like, if you're winning big, dude, why just go ahead and send them.
Yeah.
And softball especially, if you're up big, send them. Send your girls, get the out. Let's go. Like, no need to waste everybody's time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because nobody wants to watch that.
I tell you another thing that I hate is I had a boy get hurt on the field, and an umpire, or not an umpire, I had to pull him, and so I had to pull him. You don't take him out of the lineup,
right?
And so the coach made me take an out every time he would come up. And I know that's the rule, and I understand. But why would you want to win that way?
Nope. What happened my last that when I Freeman Field, the same way that happened.
Yeah.
Coach gave it the wrong lineup. Kid left.
Yep.
Out every time.
Yep. I don't do it.
And that guy, the other coach, he was really nice about it. The other coach was like, I mean, if you really want to play that way, that's fine. He said, I mean, I wish we wouldn't play like that because you're taking away from the boys, not me.
Right.
Guess that's what people don't understand is coaches. You're not hurting the coach.
No.
You're not hurting the umpire.
You're hurting the boys.
You're not hurting the parents. You're hurting the boys.
Right.
Or girls or whoever.
And I understand that it's a rule and it needs to be there. But, man, it doesn't have to be like that.
No, especially if it's not for anything.
Right.
Especially some of these games where you're playing for 7th, 8th place in standings.
Right.
You know what I mean? Does it matter?
Right. No. It's not worth it.
No, it's not. Or if you're getting beat 20-3, why are we playing?
Right.
That's another thing. I think the run rules, especially in baseball, like maybe older kids, not little kids, because them kids can score 20 runs in an inning.
Yeah.
You never know with the 9Us, dude. Because one kid, them fielders start missing balls, it's game on.
Yep.
I've seen kids score 15 runs in an inning before there.
Yep.
It's like, holy crap. But the older kids usually don't.
Yeah.
But it's a 12. It changes for every age. Just say it's 12. You know, why is it 12? It should be like 7.
Right.
Just because, I mean, if you're up by 7 runs and it's the 3rd inning, why aren't we calling the ball game?
Right. Yeah. If it's close and it's manageable, cool.
Yeah.
Let's play another inning.
Yep.
Let's go for it.
Absolutely.
But if it is a big spread, I don't want to go to the next inning.
No.
It's not good for my boys to get beat.
Dude, half the coaches, you see their expressions. They're like, oh, my God, really?
Yeah.
Even with younger kids, like, you see them, they're like, oh, man. Even the kids' expressions.
Yeah.
Why? They're wobbling out there like this, got their head, their hats on backwards, playing in the dirt because they don't want to be there right now.
Yeah.
They're getting smoked.
Yep. I've called 2 games, and the first one I told you about. The other one was we had 10 minutes of play left. We were down big. There was I think we was down by 8, which in competitive baseball is a lot.
Yeah.
And so it was put Trayton on the mound and get us out of the game and waste an inning, or pull the plug on it because it's just Saturday.
Yeah.
It's just pull play. I'm already going to seed last.
Yeah.
Let's just pull the plug on it. Let's get out of this. And I saved all of his innings for the next day.
Yep.
And as a coach, sometimes I think you have to think about that.
Yeah, some don't. Well, another thing that I hate.
Don't.
Another thing I hate is sandbagging.
I hate sandbagging.
I think it's bullcrap.
Now, on the backside of that, Saturdays don't matter to me.
No, I get the pool play pitchers and bracket play pitchers. I'm completely fine with that.
Right.
But sandbagging, I hate.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like putting your worst pitcher in to pitch all the pool play games.
Right.
I mean, I know you're getting them work.
Right.
But it's like at the same time, it's like you put your 2 worst pitchers in the whole Saturday and they don't even get their innings on Sunday. Why?
Right. Well, so that's what happened to me. So my team wasn't very good. And in the beginning, that was my philosophy. Okay, we're going to pitch our not-so-great pitchers Saturday because it doesn't matter. We still have to play Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come in Sunday and we're going to throw our aces and we're going to try to go as far as we can. Well, we still only go in 1 game. So I'm like, screw that. So we changed it. On Saturdays, we're going to pitch good people. If we get up, we'll pull one, put a not so great pitcher in, and we'll move on. Didn't matter. My team didn't prevail. I think we won a couple games last year, and that's it.
And that's another thing that I'm starting to learn too is, like with my daughter's team, like when we're trying out, like this year especially, I was looking around because, I mean, as a parent, I asked the coaches, how many pitchers you got?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, your kid's going to get plenty of mound time. I don't care about mound time.
Right. I want to know how many you got.
I mean, I care about mound time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I do care about it. But not to the point to where I'm like, oh, she's only going to pitch 3 times this weekend, once or twice.
Right.
Oh, man. No, I'm like, how many pitchers you got? Why? Because
if you've only got 2 and I'm the 3rd, I'm out.
I'm out, yeah. Because my daughter's not going to pitch 500 innings.
Right.
We did that last year. No offense to the coach, we just did that last year.
Right.
That was rough.
It is.
My daughter pitched a lot.
It's rough on the kids.
And I remember that tournament I was talking about where she pitched 500 pitches.
Yeah, that's insane.
And paying for lessons, she got out of her rhythm.
Yep.
So guess what? Next month and a half, spent trying to get her back.
Yep.
I mean, you're spending money on that stuff, man. Like, whoa. Like, and especially in like younger kids, like 10U, 12U, 12, or even 10U, dude, really. Like softball, most pitchers I know don't play full games in softball.
Right.
any team that's really competitive wins.
Yeah.
That I've been looking at, because I've been doing a little bit of research, just seeing how other teams do it, because I want to know.
Right.
How do you win? You know, that's what I want to know.
Yep.
Now, and what they do is they pitch a girl for 2 or 3 innings, pitch another girl for 2 or 3 innings.
Yep.
Because softball, you can always bring the pitcher back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if I don't take my boy out in the middle of the inning, I can put him back in.
Yep.
But if I take him out in the middle, I cannot.
So yes, like if you pull, so like if your kid's pitching softball, say she pitches 2 innings, they put another girl in, she's struggling.
Yeah.
They can put the first pitcher back in.
Really?
You can do it once.
That's cool.
Per game. So people do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, but it's like these girls aren't ready to pitch a full game yet. Most of the ones I know.
There's nobody on my boys' teams that's ready to pitch a whole game.
Now, if they are pitching great and they are pitching good and they're getting outs, like, because if you're pitching 2 pitches, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 for 4 innings,
that's 9 pitches. If you throw strikes 9 pitches, 3 batters, and they're out, that's fine.
Yeah,
you can go 5 or 6 innings then.
But in like little kids softball, especially, and even little kids baseball, them kids 90% of times aren't throwing strikes.
Right.
Like my goal last year for my daughter was to try to do towards the end of the season was, all right, we're kind of plateauing a little bit. Let's just try to throw 50-50.
Right.
I want you to throw 50% strikes, at least 50% strikes. Obviously, I want you to throw 80% strikes.
Right.
It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
So I want you to throw at least try to do 50. My goal this year is for us to do 60.
Right.
And I want her by the end of the year, I need her pitching in the 50s. That's my goal for her. But I always ask these teams, how many pitchers do you got? 2, 3. Ain't gonna work for me.
Right.
How many pitchers you got? 6.
Perfect.
How many more are in lessons? I got 2 more in lessons. Oh, great. So I have 13 pitches. Great. We're going.
Yeah.
Because that's important. Even in baseball, dude.
It's arm care.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand arm care, and I still don't understand it a ton.
Me neither.
And I wish I knew more about it. But, like, if we have practices on Thursdays, I don't have my best pitchers throw.
Nope.
I do pitching practice on Tuesdays.
Something for Mike, what we do is a lot of times for the games, if it's nice enough outside, which usually in summertime is beautiful, but if it's raining or something, but I'll usually go have her throw a few.
Yeah.
And like just warm her arm up and just like pitch some and do they call them snaps where girls, they just like this, they do like this, do the pitches in their hand just into a glove 2 feet away.
Right.
Because you're not going full arm string. I'll have her do that. And then I'll have her ice her arm.
Yeah.
And that's about all I know.
Yeah.
And I really need to get into some band training for her, some of the arm bands.
Yeah.
And stuff like that to get her arm loosened up and to keep it from tightening up or any, obviously any future damage.
Right.
So, because that is important.
It is. And for me, that's one thing I have to learn that I don't know a ton about. And
Me
it's
neither.
just the
That's
future
what
stuff.
I'm trying to learn about that.
All right. We have been going for a minute, so.
All right, man.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
We'll have to do this again.
This is fun.
I feel like we got more baseball stuff to talk about, more umpiring stuff. So let's have
I'm
you
sure
back.
we'll have some more stories.
Yes.
This year.
Yeah. And man, thanks again for coming. Anybody?
This is fun.
Any kind of shout outs you want to do?
Shout out to my wife. She's MVP. I didn't get to talk about her much, but
yeah,
she's the MVP.
Yeah, my
she's
wife
the one
as
that takes
well.
me all the games.
Yeah, my wife's
umpiring,
like, my wife's never said, "Oh, you don't mention me a ton on my podcast," but I know I don't, just because of most of the time the topics we're on. But I don't know how to do all the baseball stuff without her.
Yeah, she's appreciative.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Tom Mahoney, pitching coach.
There you go.
So yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully this baseball season and softball season goes well.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm
I
looking
can't
forward to
wait.
get back to it.
Me too. Love the busy time.
Yeah, me too. All right, man. As always, thanks for listening, and if you're watching us on YouTube, thanks for watching. Today's episode is brought to you by Family Used Auto out of Seymour. We sell cars, help you refinance them. If you're looking for something, we do financing. Whatever needs to be done, we can help you with. Give us a call, 812-271-2700, and we'll catch you on the next episode.